The Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Welcome in, everyone, to another Sunday of the Every Point Sports Podcast. I am Jack Stache from Fantasy Farm Sports. We've got Greg, the old gamer GK Entertainment, with us once again. Greg, how are we feeling?
We're always doing good, Jack. Every Sunday we're doing good when we're back here, spreading our knowledge that we have and our insight on these games and in the sports world. Nothing else gets me more excited.
I'm ready to go.
My
I'm already
voice,
10 cups
that's
of
it.
coffee in. I've got 10 cups of coffee, and I am ready, roaring, ready to go. Oh, my God.
Tunas is in. I'm ready to go. I had the Bloomsburg Fair this past weekend, got our butts kicked, so I'm ready to get back to some normal life and talk some sports.
Let's go. What's first on the docket today?
All right, first we got the Packers versus Cleveland Browns. Really, any time to really spend on this? Like Green Bay, to me, best team in the league.
They are the best team in the league. Okay, but these teams are more similar than we think. Right? So I think that I actually believe the juice here is on Cleveland's side.
Right now it's 8. Cleveland's getting 8.5. Over under 41.5. Cleveland's at plus 370 money line. Packers are at negative 485 money line. That's huge. That actually is the biggest money line of the week.
So the Cleveland Browns, right? I know what Flacco looks like and all these other things. I totally get it. Both of these teams
look bad.
Both of these teams play well at home. Let's start there. Okay. 8.5, as you people learned on Thursday, is a big number. And I'm talking about you people that didn't listen to me, didn't take Miami with 12.5. I don't have to bet a game today. Just saying. Right? The Miami Dolphins looked a lot better. You should have trusted your eyes. I know, but the Buffalo Bills, let's not pretend like they beat the Ravens the whole game because they waited till there was 5 minutes left. And then but look what they did to the Jets. Stop it. The Dolphins looked way better. They fought for their coach on Thursday night. That defense tried to tackle with the best talent they had. Back on to the Browns. I'm not his biggest fan, but let's not pretend like Kevin Stefanski didn't win Coach of the Year twice, because he did. Mm-hmm. He'll have this team prepared at home. 8.5 is a big number. And the juice I was talking about is Quinshon Judkins. He could be one of the most electric running backs in this draft. I'm saying it because I know what these other guys have looked like. This guy has natural vision. He's from that home state. It's his home debut. Right. And I think he's going to come out with a little pizzazz. Okay. 8.5 is a huge number. Cleveland's defense, by the way, I know that we love the Packers defense because Micah Parsons is there now, but let's not pretend like Cleveland doesn't have a good defense.
No, they did. They continue. Every year they have a good defense. They always have a solid defense, Cleveland does.
So what don't we like here? You don't like the fact that the Browns can't win a game? Because I think the Jordan Love, Joe Flacco, I know Jordan Love is a superstar already. But
if he's not, he's right on the cusp. He's right there. He's ready to take that one last step to become that superstar.
But he never blows anybody out.
Mm-hmm.
He just doesn't do it. He doesn't do it on the road. I know the Packers are a great team. I love the Browns 8.5 here. I will be taking it. I know that the books have been beat up for ready. 12 straight favorites have hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the favorites are hitting every single week. And I'm willing to bet in our week 3, remember, it's a revision week in the NFL, right? It's teams still fighting for their season. The Browns are in that carousel. I believe that the Browns could look like they're going to win this game for most of it. I really do. Give me the 8.5, and I ain't scared. And don't you be scared either.
I am not. I'm not going to take the Browns. I'm not. I understand everything you're saying. And if the Browns had a little bit better line to protect Flacco at his age, I'd be with you. But unfortunately, I think I don't even know if Flacco makes it through this game. I really don't. The Green Bay Packers still are not getting the credit they deserve on defense. Their defense was the top 10 defense last year without a pass rush. Now they have the pass rush with Micah Parsons. Let's say what you want about him, but he is a difference maker. He proved it the first 2 weeks. Even if he's not involved in the play, he loosens things up for the other players. So on that note, I listen. I understand 8.5 is a lot. I understand Jenkins it can run the ball. I just think that when it's all said and done, I think this is going to be a 10-point win by the Packers. I think it will be close at some point early, but I think Packers just end up blowing away. To really quick to your point about Jordan Love, not be able to take that next step and blow people out and this and that. I put a lot of that on his wide receivers. He put the ball there. He puts the ball right there. His receivers drop the ball too much. That's why he has no true number ones. They're all number twos. Now Golden, he could end up being that number one, but they've just been off just a hair. Even the quarterback was saying how Love was saying like they're just a fraction off. If they could just hit one or two of those plays, like that's going to be a huge difference because you know and I know you hit those over the top plays, that opens up everything. That opens up bigger running lanes for Josh Jacobs. That works the underneath with the tight ends. So I'm just saying, I think this is going to be a week where they kind of bring everything together. I love the Packers this week. I love them by at least 10.
Let's say all those things are true.
Mm-hmm.
But let's unpack the Joe Flacco's not going to finish the whole game. Although I am a Shedeur Sanders guy. Okay, I think Shedeur Sanders is more talented than Dylan Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that at the University of Colorado, I think that Travis Hunter was so mentally talented that he was able to call out defenses to help Shedeur read them better. I think Dylan Gabriel has seen more types of plays than Shedeur. I think Dylan Gabriel could be thrown in and all of a sudden, like that kid is smaller, but he does believe he's one of the best players on the field.
Yeah.
That stuff matters, right? So if he's thrown in and a defense doesn't have time to prepare for him like Green Bay, all of a sudden you're like, hey, Dylan looks pretty good with the packages they have set up for him. And I think he could do enough. And you're like, somebody this was a pretty good draft pick. And maybe he's not perfect, but he looks good enough to make him look good enough this week. Right.
Yeah. No, listen, I could see that happening. I really could. I mean, there's a reason why he was drafted, in the third round. Gabriel was.
I think it was fourth. Yeah, maybe
fourth round. Like he was drafted. There is a reason why Shedeur Sanders was drafted. They're NFL quarterbacks. Just right. Really quick, I just want to break up our picks real quick because I got a quick story about Shedeur Sanders. Something that I heard over the week. I can't remember where I heard, but I thought was very interesting.
Okay.
When he signed his contract and negotiated his contract, do you realize he didn't give up any social media rights? He kept all his digital and social media rights. So much to where I think it's his brother or cousin, does all his stuff, all his film.
It's his brother.
He wanted to keep him. His name, I forget whatever his name is in Shedeur's contract. They had to go to the NFL. Roger Goodell had to sign off on it because Shedeur Sanders' social media group will be using so much of the NFL clips and an NFL stuff that they couldn't get it flagged on YouTube and on Facebook and all that other stuff that normally NFL stuff gets taken down for people like me and you. If we put something up, we get it taken down right away because they don't want the shield out there. That's their shield. But I thought it was very interesting that they allowed Shedeur to have those rights. That's why his contract, like he's only making $250 this year. It escalates up to where he's making like $1.4 million his final year, his fourth year, but he wasn't really worried about too much as far as money wise. One, his final year at Colorado, he made $6.4 million in NIL and endorsements. Two, he brought all those endorsements over to the NFL. So essentially, the Browns have a third string quarterback that is making them money from jersey sales, social media clips, stuff like that, endorsements. Browns and NFL is making money off of Shedeur Sanders.
So, and that is really, so I wonder if there was going to be a big back and forth, if he was a first round guy or a second round guy. I wonder if there was going to be a big back, or teams thought there could be a big back and forth with Goodell if he went that high, right? And the whole NFL thing and this whole, because they knew what he was going to want to do there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, and I want to.
By the way, I don't mean to cut you off. This is the first time this has ever happened. This is unprecedented.
Well, it's like, yeah, it is. It's like, they were forced into doing this with Trevor Lawrence, right? But nobody knows that Trevor Lawrence took half of his first contract in Bitcoin. How about that? He did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. His agent asked him, and he said, yeah, is this going to be a thing? Trevor Lawrence asked him, right? And this is a real high agency. You don't get a number one draft pick by being a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And he said, Trevor, he goes, it is going to be a thing. He goes, good. I want half my first contract. And he said, are you sure? Trevor Lawrence looked right at him. He said, are you sure? And the guy said, yeah, I am, Trevor. And he goes, okay, put half it in there. And hold on, let me get this PGA
Tour. Trying to remember what year he's drafted. 2021.
Yeah, it's worth a lot more now.
I'll put a shit ton right now, dude.
So the PGA Tour, they wanted to own the golfers' highlights. They wanted to own the golfers' rights to their highlights. And if golfers, let's say you were a top 80 guy who all of a sudden had a great week and you won the US Open, you can never use that video to help promote you outside the PGA. And this became a hard back and forth, a big argument. Because, by the way, if I can use some of that money on Instagram to show people or even train others to play like me, then it would pay for my road expenses. Not everybody's Tiger Woods. There are some road warriors out there.
Oh, yeah. Guys that barely, they sleep in their car.
And that was the real, like, I know the big time contracts that went out there, the Phil Mickelsons. You know, nobody knows that Brooks Koepka took the LIV money only when they said, hey, your brother's a golfer, right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, how about we sign you guys as a package? He goes, you'll pay my brother too? And they said, they were like, yeah, we'll pay your brother too. He goes, only if you pay my brother too a fair amount of money and bring him on the tour, then I'll take the contract. They paid Brooks more, but they gave his brother a lot of money. But the rights to their videos, their LIV videos, there's a split, and they're able to use them. The PGA started getting too old, right? And Roger Goodell was very smart to be smart with Shedeur Sanders and go, you know what? Let's okay, I'll bend a little here because you have to.
Well, I mean, it's smart on his end because the NFL and the team is making money off of doing no work, no work at all, except for collecting money from him. That's it. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I just thought it was really interesting because it's something that nobody thinks. That you see their images all over, but a lot of times it's NFL produced. I think it's really, really cool and a really, to be honest, it might be the next step in evolution for these players. Because we all know how social media is, from Instagram to YouTube to whatever the next TikTok, to whatever the next thing is going to be. You know, we all know how important that is to this next young generation. So putting yourself out there, giving yourself another avenue of money, like that's a big, big thing.
And to keep his brother employed, what a good kid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guy does a great job. Like, if he didn't do a good job, and then I'd understand, you know, let's hire somebody.
But you can go find professionals that have been doing this forever and have better connections and all this other stuff. And Shedeur went, no, I want to keep my brother.
But I think it's because his brother knows, I don't want to say knows the social media because I don't know that part, but he knows what the kids want to see. He knows what this generation, you know what, like when you see a Shedeur Sanders video or a clip or something, like, you're enamored. Your eyes are like this, like you're stuck on the screen. It's no like looking away and then coming back, looking away, coming back. You're glued to the screen. So the guy does a phenomenal job as far as eye-catching stuff.
Yeah, that's great points. All right, I like
All
that
right,
stuff.
let's move on. We spent way too much time on this Browns
That's all right.
game.
It's
Listen,
we learned
Jack
some
likes
stuff.
the Browns with the points. I like Green Bay with the points. I think it's going to be a 10-point game. I just think that the Green Bay still isn't getting the credit that they deserve. A lot of people are still thinking of that close team last year. I think this defense is way better and is going to be able to put a gap between them and the next team they're playing.
Okay.
All right, next we got the LA Rams. Oh, this is a good game. Rams versus Eagles. Eagles are giving 3.5. Over is 45.5. The money line Eagles are at negative 198.
I don't know what to think here.
I don't either. I really don't. The Rams look good. Eagles look good. Last year's playoff team, I mean, Rams were right there. You know, the fourth quarter, they could have won that game.
The thing is with the Rams, they can't stop the run. They can't.
They rush the heck out of that passer.
They can. But I feel like, you know, it's the same teams. I don't care. It really is. That, you know, and Philly's at home. Listen, for all our Philly fans out there, I think that they win the game. I think they're going to win the game kind of like they won last week at Kansas City. So we don't really play spreads when we know that there's a fair money line here. I just still think Philly has too much talent. I think that McVay will have a good game plan. I'm not sure. I know, but they got Devontae Adams. Against
It's a big difference with Devontae and Puka on the field now. You don't have just Puka and a lame duck Cooper Kupp. You have a very good Devontae Adams that proved last week. Like, I'm with you. 100% I'm with you. I'm just trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate here and say, well, this isn't the same Rams team that we remember from last year. They have that extra weapon this year.
Let's say this was a 2-0 Eagles team on the road. They're not. They are 2-0, but they are not on the road. They're at home. If they were on the road, I believe this is a team that could get bored. This Rams team doesn't excite you. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't excite the Eagles. But those fans keep you honest. Right? And I think because you're in, the link, as they like to respectfully call it, and they are going to be going bonkers. To me, I just take Philly on the money line. That's how it feels. And if I'm wrong, then sue me, please. Send the lawsuits my way.
Totally agree. Everything you just said. I'll echo everything. I don't like the spread here at all. If I had to take the spread, I'm not taking the game. Do I think your Eagles ultimately win? Yes, but I think it's going to be like a 2-point game. I think it's going to be like a slugfest like last year. I really do.
Right.
I think the reason why they win is because of Hurts' legs. I think he's going to be able to do just enough to escape that pass rush to move the ball and for them to score. But I think this is going to be a slugfest. I think this is going to be like a 20-18 game. 20-16 games, somewhere in there. Like, I don't see a lot of points being scored. I don't see a lot of big plays. I don't even think, to be honest, I don't even think Barkley gets 100 yards today. I really don't.
No, I mean, it all depends on what the game's going to call for. The Rams are fine. They're kind of where they were last year. That's kind of
they're a strong, respectable team. It just so happens Eagles to me are the second best team in the NFC.
Yeah,
they just are. If not the second best team in the NFL, it's a tie between them and the Bills.
The second best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
Who's the best team in the NFC?
To me, it's the Green Bay.
Oh, I'd give the nod to Philly.
I think to me, Green Bay is the cream of the crop right now. They're the best team to me in the NFL.
It's a long season. I think when Philly has to slug, they slug.
Listen, I agree. They're mentally tough. They've proven they're a tough team. Their defense is killer. But to me right now, week 2 going into week 3, the cream of the crop right now to me is Green Bay. They're the darling of the NFL right now, in my eyes. And then you got the Eagles and Bills, which is 1A or 2A, 2B or 2A, 2A, however you want to do it. But they're right there neck and neck. You can make an argument for either team for second, in my opinion.
All right.
So,
I was
but I
just
mean,
thinking,
listen, there's no slight on the Eagles, no slight at all. They're awesome. They really are.
yeah,
Being able to run the ball like they do, be able to play the defense like they do, and then the weapons on offense at wideout that they have that they didn't even really have to use yet.
right. And so that's my thing with the Eagles, right? Like the Eagles, and I'm not saying you want to do this, but the Eagles could lose 3 guys, and you're like, who cares? There's nobody that has that luxury. Not really
No.
any team. I mean, I'm wearing a Bucks shirt because I'm a Baker guy, but at the end of the day, they are losing players by the second. And it's, you can have that fight and die mentality like Baker has, but when everybody else has it and they don't quite have the durability of him, that becomes a little bit of an issue.
Mhm.
What's our next game on the docket?
Let's see here. Next game. Shoot, my freaking thing let out on me here. Hold on.
That's all right.
All right. So ultimately, where would his side here? We both like the Eagles on the money line.
Yeah,
Stay
Eagles
away
money
from the
line.
spread.
Yeah.
Yes. Next, we got Atlanta at Carolina. Atlanta's given 5.5. Over under is 44.5. Atlanta is at -225 money line. Listen, I'll be the first one to admit it. Atlanta's for real. I had my doubts last week about them. Going into Minnesota. You liked Atlanta going into Minnesota. I liked Minnesota. I was beating the drum for Minnesota. I liked them a lot. Listen, I'm able to say when I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong about Minnesota. Minnesota has JJ needs time. He needs some time. He needs playing experience. He proved it last week. And Atlanta is good. Their wide receivers are finally catching the ball. Pitts is involved. Robinson's a stud at running back. I mean, Penix is a superstar in the waiting, and that defense is respectable.
Yeah. Just to echo the Minnesota thing, McCarthy scares me because I don't really see any growth since Michigan. He kind of reminded me of the same guy. I do think.
Well, that's why I think he needs playing experience.
No, I
You
know,
can have all the practice experience in the world, but until you step on that field and get the actual NFL experience, it's a total different game.
he scares me because to me, that arm should be stronger. It's not. It's not as accurate either, and it's kind of Michigan accurate, right? He missed guys by 3 yards. He missed guys by 2 yards. Like, brother, if I haven't, and I know you haven't played in a year, but you've still been throwing to guys. So I don't know how you're missing guys by 2-3 yards. And I liken it to like, hey, we both like Brock Purdy. Congratulations, you got the contract. But when Brock misses, it looks bad.
Yeah.
And when JJ misses, it looks bad. And I think that Brock has a better mastery of defenses right now than JJ. And you're just like, hey, pal, 6'3" should look a little bit stronger in the right shoulder. And I don't know. I don't love it.
The reason why I think as far as as far as Brock Purdy looked better reading defenses is because Brock Purdy, everybody forgets, he played like 4 solid years at Iowa State. Like he played every year he was there.
Didn't McCarthy have 3?
I mean, he still had a whole nother season.
I know.
Like the reason why the Niners liked him so much, it wasn't because of his physical capabilities. It was because of how much experience the guy had on the field. And a lot of guys coming into the NFL only has a quarter of what he had in the NFL. So I mean that there, I'll give a slight edge. The reason why Purdy is like that. But JJ, I agree with you. He should look better. He shouldn't be hit. He shouldn't be missing these guys like he is. The silver lining I have is the connection that him and Addison had in preseason. When Addison comes back, will he look better? When he comes back from that injury, Addison comes back from being suspended. Will that team look a little bit better because of the connection those two had in preseason?
I don't know. And I look at things this way. Like everybody wants to absolutely crucify Caleb Williams every chance they get. And it's like, hey man, like I understand that this kid had 5 good drives in his first victory, but the rest of it was real bad.
Yeah.
And the next game ended up being even worse. He's a tremendous leader. And I'm not going all the way here yet, but wasn't Tim Tebow? Tim Tebow was a tremendous leader.
Leader of men.
And won an NFL playoff game. So stop with all that. He can play sometimes.
He can't play to your expectations. He could play the game of football.
Right, but he's Tim Tebow's a B athlete at everything. A+ leader, but a B at everything.
And A+ heart.
Oh yeah.
A+ heart. I mean, like everybody wants to give Hurts like this big thing with the tush push. Imagine Tebow with the tush push.
I think that Brock Purdy to me, what he does so well is he tricks linebackers pretty well. Like that's the one thing you could sit there and go, hey, he faked him into thinking he was going to run and tricked him this way. And he performs those things very well.
That's because of the experience he had in college, though.
I just think it's a knack he has, actually.
I actually like very well, but I just always want to emphasize how much experience he has had, because all these coaches love these one-year wonders like Anthony Richardson and stuff coming out of college.
Like,
oh, they're great athletes. They had a great year, but once we get our hands on them, we could do this with them. Instead of just taking the guy that has the experience, won the games, won those tough games.
I think there's going to be a lot of growing pains, and this could be tough in Minnesota. What's that game? Which game are we on right now?
We got Atlanta, Carolina. This is really a no-brainer. Carolina is not the team that is not the team we thought they were going to be when we seen them at the end of last year. Jack and I thought we seen growth in them. With McMillan, I thought that would give them a little extra spice in their passing game. I haven't seen it yet. They look like the same team they did in the beginning of last year. Are they going to wait till 4 games left in the season to look good again?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Because they're at home again, I'll take Carolina getting 5. 5.5.
5.5.
5.5. I think Atlanta wins. Atlanta's the better team. But Atlanta's a little dinged up in their defense as well. They went out and they threw their bodies everywhere, right? And their offense is good, but it's not great. And let's not pretend like they close out games. So Carolina's got their season on the line at home against the team a little dinged up that doesn't close out games. I think Atlanta wins by 3 or 2, but not 5.5.
I'm going the same route we did with the Eagles game. I don't like the spread here at all. Actually, any spread that's 5.5 and 5 scares me. It's just a weird number.
Yeah,
it just really is. It's such a weird number. Like as soon as I see 5, 5.5, I'm running. I'd rather see 6.
Whenever I hear
don't
5,
ask me why, I just would rather see 6.
When I hear 5, 5.5, instantly in my head I think 3.
Yeah,
and Atlanta does not close out games.
Yeah, but that's why I'm staying away from the spread. It's because one of last week I highly underestimated Atlanta. I won't do it again. It's a crappy. Listen, like I said, I won't do it again. I said last week I wasn't sure what Atlanta was. I was still thinking last year's Atlanta. I needed a little bit more. I was high on Minnesota. Like I said, the roster coming into this year. Listen, I was wrong. I'm stepping back. I was wrong. Atlanta is good. Minnesota needs some growth, but Atlanta impressed me. They look really good the last 2 weeks against two good teams, 2 good opponents, we thought anyway. Nope. So in that case, I do like Atlanta winning this. Negative 225 isn't such a bad money line that I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to take the money line and sit back and collect my winnings.
Yeah, that's probably a good bet. I do think there's some resolve in Dave Canales and Bryce Young. I don't think they've hit I don't think Bryce Young is where Tua is mentally in his career. I still think Bryce Young can fight. I still think Bryce Young can surprise at times. I do think that safety blanket and Tetora McMillan is there, and he used him a lot last week. If Atlanta's secondary, and they is dinged up a little bit, that dude is a mammoth of a man to deal with. I mean, he's Tony Gonzalez, right? He's a basketball player, and he's got the wingspan of Brandon Marshall. That's a problem if you're dinged up. So I'll take I'll take the 5.5, but like light units, like 2 units. You don't have to bet this game. I don't love this game.
Yeah, like I said, I'm staying away from the spread, but I will take that money line. I love the money line. I like Atlanta here. Like I said, I don't care if it was the Eagles versus Carolina. 5.5. I don't like fives. I don't. All right, next we got the surprising Indianapolis Colts against the Tennessee Titans. Colts, man, wow. Like, listen, they were given a gift basket last week with that whole jumping over the line. They missed that field goal at the end. They got it, 5 extra yards, 10 extra yards, ended up getting the game-winning field goal. The point is they hung around that game to win it. Don't care how they won it. Ultimately, they got the dub. Last year, they would have lost that game. This year, they win it.
Yeah. Last year,
Richardson would have done real. I like Indy. I think Daniel Jones is doing just enough there. What did we say last year? The only thing Indy is missing is a consistent quarterback. Just somebody that could distribute the ball. That's it.
Well, let's ask some questions here, right? Let's ask some questions about some boring quarterbacks, right? Trent Dilfer, Super Bowl or no Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco, Super Bowl or no Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
Both.
But let's hold off a minute. All right. Back in the day, Flacco was a hell of a passer.
No.
Hell of a passer. He led the league multiple times in yardage and stuff. He was a stud.
But his greatest wins were his 220 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Tom Brady's to get to the Super Bowl or to get to the next, right? He was a game manipulator. Trent Dilfer had a running game and a defense. And before we started the season, we talked about if Jonathan Taylor has a competent guy who could call out whether the blitz is coming, whether the blitz isn't coming, against the run, against the pass. Daniel Jones, for all of his deficiencies, does have a degree from Duke University. It's the Ivy League of the South, whether you like it or not. I've actually walked the campus. It's fantastic. It's one of those you got to go see. So I know Notre Dame gets all the credit. Duke is fantastic. Cathedrals everywhere. So anyway, I believe that Daniel Jones is smart. I don't think he's dumb. And if he has a defense, by the way, Indy's defense was projected to be sneaky good this year. Cam Ward may have all the splash plays, but you're not going to win the game with splash plays. I don't think Cam Ward can read a defense yet. That touchdown, that highlight touchdown he had last week was like, brother, this is not going to work if you keep playing this way. It's not.
No, but I mean, he is young and he is able to use his physical tools. Hold on one second here. We got a screen verted teams. I don't know what.
Havza Macy. I don't know what that means.
Screen variety TV seems legit. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyways, all right. I seen we had a comment. What we talked. Oh, okay. Daniel Jones and Indy. I mean, listen, Alex Pierce, Pittman both of them having a good year now. They're able to get the ball. And listen, they might have one of the sneakiest, best tight ends besides Bowers in the league with Warren.
Yeah, where did he go to school?
Penn State. Listen, I love the guy coming out. I wanted the Niners to draft him. He was a utility guy. He was one of the reasons why Penn State had the season they had last year. If you guys watch the games, like that guy was instrumental in what they did last year. This guy is showing what he's able to do in the NFL. He's amazing.
Tyler Warren, to me, he reminds me of he's kind of sneaky, right? He reminds me of, and I'm going to say it, you guys don't have to believe it. He reminds me of Gronk a little bit. And I'm not saying third year Gronk where you knew what he was, but like Tyler Warren, you can hit him and he kind of like stumbles and looks like he's going to fall and then regains his balance. Remember Gronk, you could hit him 4 times. You're like, oh, he's still going. Tyler Warren is just a dump truck amongst Corvettes.
Don't forget that they played him at running back last year too in spots.
And that's my whole thing. Like he's not fast, but he has a unique balance. A Mike Allstott, if you will, but a little bit taller. Right? Remember Mike? You beat the hell out of him. I think
he's a little bit quicker too than Allstott was. But no, dude, I loved Allstott back in the day. Wow.
He's got more legs to him, but like Allstott, you used to hit him 4 times. You're like, You almost yelled at the screen, "Stop hitting him!" Like, because he's not going down.
No, listen, you didn't hit him. He hit you.
Yeah, he was one of those guys, right?
Yeah.
So, Peyton Hillis,
Yeah,
right?
another one. Yep.
All shoulders,
Cleveland.
all neck,
Yep.
right? And you try
Yep.
to hit him below in his thighs, and you're like, "Oh, that was a bad idea."
Yeah.
That's Tyler Warren right now. We'll take Indy.
Yeah.
You can actually bet the spread here if you want.
Yeah, I like the 6. I think Indy wins this by a touchdown or more.
Yeah.
All right, next, we got Pittsburgh Steelers and New England Patriots. Patriots are getting 1.5. Over under is 44.5. Patriots are at plus 100 money line. I like the Patriots here.
Do you?
Yeah, I listen. That Steelers defense is hurting right now. I think that offense is searching for a running game. I just personally, I think New England has that scrap in them, has that Vrabel in them, you know? Yeah, I think last week's win, I think that did a lot for them as far as emotionally and psychologically. They know they can, hang in there. They know they can come back on a game. So yeah, I like them here. I like this a young New England team going up against a veteran Pittsburgh team that seems to be still trying to find themselves.
So once upon a time, there was this boxer. His name was Bernard Hopkins.
I know Bernard. Yep.
All right. So Bernard Hopkins, as he was getting older, he couldn't fight a whole round, right? He was a good boxer, but he would steal rounds.
Mm-hmm.
He would steal rounds, and he fought against this young upcoming guy, and everybody thought, they were like, well, this will be the passing of the torch. Last name was Taylor. I don't know if you remember Taylor.
No.
Taylor was like, he was all of it, right? And you're just like, okay, well, hopefully Bernard doesn't get hurt. I think he was 43 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernard had, they'd exchange, and he would exhaust physically and mentally Taylor. In the last 40 seconds of the round, Bernard would land like 3 or 4 shots when Taylor was kind of sucking wind a little bit, and he would steal rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Greg, you'd sit there and you go, somebody should tell the kid not to throw his best punches in the beginning of this round. Because Bernard's just kind of working through it and almost made it into a sparring contest and then socked him 6 times. You're like, those 6 times are pretty good, man. I'm going to give that round to Bernard. And you just write check marks.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, New England's good and they got their victory. Right, they did. But I do think they're young. I think they're inconsistent. I don't know what their tools totally look like.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see how good this team is when they're expected. Because I think New England could be winning the whole race here.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could be up, I don't know, let's call it 13-7 for many quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it looks like they got him. Pittsburgh's, Tomlin's still walking up and down the sideline. They're trying to find a little something. And then all of a sudden, in the third quarter, Aaron Rodgers becomes Bernard Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe that he's going to find a little movement. They won't score. They won't do anything, right? Maybe they'll get a field goal, right? It'll be 13-10. Right, New England will come back with a field goal. It'll be 16-10. And then you're late in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers sees your cornerback walking a little bit slowly. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd he have to do that? Because now Bernard is going to throw a right hook, right, when you just let that glove down a little bit, and all of a sudden, I think there's a push, by the way. I think Pittsburgh wins this game by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
I think they win by 1 point, and he has a nice conversation with May at midfield. May looks good, more yards, all this other stuff, more punch, right? More spectacular plays. But at the end of the day, you're sitting there going, Jesus, Aaron figured it. That's why okay.
Listen, it could very well happen. I don't feel confident at all taking New England with this game, but I wouldn't feel confident taking Pittsburgh at this game either. Just for the fact that the 2 reasons why we like Pittsburgh so much coming in this year wasn't because of Aaron Rodgers. It was because of their offensive line, and it was because of their defense.
Yeah.
Both of those reasons are the reason why they're losing. They're not losing because of Aaron Rodgers. They're not losing because of their wide receivers, because of their running backs. They're losing because, one, their offensive line can't stop anybody, and two, their defense can't stop anybody. Like, we gave the Jets way too much credit week 1. And
Yeah.
because they were hanging with Pittsburgh. They were beating Pittsburgh the whole time. We're like, wow, Pittsburgh's defense. Look what they're doing to it. Look what the Jets defense is doing to Pittsburgh's line. Well, we seen what Pittsburgh was last week. You know? So listen, until they straighten that up, I have a hard time betting on Pittsburgh, period. I am not confident with New England in this game either. I just think New England has a nice team. They fought back last week. They had a nice win last week, and I could see the same thing happening this week.
Oh, I'm not confident in the bets. I just want to tell a nice story about Bernard Hopkins.
Oh, all right. Okay. So ultimately, I don't like either team here. If I had to pick, though, I will take the 1.5 with New England before I would take Pittsburgh.
I just wanted people to remember Bernard. You know,
listen, how could you forget him? He had a nice win streak, like up in didn't he have he was like 38-0 or 35-0 or something like that before he lost?
Was the executioner.
He was right up there with Roy Jones Jr. for a while.
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love Roy. He was my guy. All right, next we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Washington Commanders. Washington is without Jalen Daniels today. So that is a big hit. Big hit. On that alone, I'm taking the Raiders. What's that?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to talk about here. I think that Pete Carroll's team comes in prepared. I don't think there's anything special about Washington outside of their quarterback. Yep. Mariota will be serviceable, but let's not pretend like he doesn't make a mistake. And you're like,
and they're starting running backs hurt too. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't think Marcus gets them in and out of the right sessions. I think Max Crosby will be running wild.
Mm-hmm.
And Mariota is serviceable, but let's not pretend he'll probably look like Josh Dobbs, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Like you said, serviceable.
And I'll take Vegas. Let's move on. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we got the now. See, this game's going to be tough. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't think it is tough. And look, because they're playing at home. Okay, skull, but that's just the stuff you put in the bottom of your lip, right? The thing here is Carson Wentz hasn't played any real football in 2 years. Like in 2 years, right? His timing will be off. He's not Philadelphia's Wentz. I understand they're going to try to run the ball and they're going to try to manipulate and maneuver and all these things. Brian Flores' defense and whatever you want to drum up here. But Jake Browning and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and there's more talent on the opposite side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that Cincinnati playing their starters in the preseason is going to pay dividends for a game like this. I can't give the nod to Minnesota. I will not be betting this game because I don't trust this line, but I'll put a check mark or I will circle Cincinnati. I just think they're a better football team right now.
Okay. All right. It's really tough for me because I don't know what we're going to get with Wentz. I already know what we're getting with Browning. Minnesota given 3 points. Yeah, that's a lot for this situation that they're in. I'm not touching this game at all. But if you want a safe bet for me, is Jordan Mason getting over 100 yards rushing today.
Oh, I like that bet. That's a fantastic bet. Take that.
Listen, I was a huge Jordan Mason fan last year when he was the backup for the Niners. When he was the starter for us, he led the league in rushing.
Yeah.
All right. O'Connor runs the same run scheme as the Niners, zone run scheme. Jordan Mason's going to tear it up today. Cincinnati has a porous defense already. So my deciding factor in this, I think that the Minnesota is going to be able to do just enough with their run game to walk away with a slight victory here. Again, I'm not touching the game. I'm not putting any money. What I am putting money on is Jordan Mason getting 100 yards rushing. That's where my money is.
That's the better bet here, actually. Yeah, that's the better bet.
So for all you fantasy owners out there, if you guys don't have Jordan Mason and if he's sitting out there right now, I recommend you hurry up and pick him up. I highly doubt it. If he is anywhere on your free agent chart, you guys are in a bad league.
Most of my followers are already a member of this club anyway, but Freemason.
Freemason. Next, we got the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow, another 1.5 point game.
Dude, this game.
Jags are giving 1.5. Over-under's 42.5. Jags are a negative 125 money line. Jack, you already started saying who you love before I finish, so why don't you
I have to.
Go right ahead. I know you can't wait.
I can't. I watched the Jaguars a couple weeks. I watched Liam Cohen yell at Trevor Lawrence that if you want a wide receiver to sit down, throw it in his chest. Screamed it at him. And Lawrence went like this.
Yeah.
And went back, brother, you ain't the guy.
No. You ain't the college guy. You're not Clemson.
You're not. Actually, you look just like Clemson, right? They've got a losing record.
Well, now, but back in the day when he was with Clemson, like there was none of that. There was only praise for him.
To me, I think that Trevor Lawrence is first of all, you're uncoachable. Let's start there. Doug Peterson gave up on you.
One second.
Okay.
Do you think he's just a quick question about him. Do you think he's uncoachable because of all the success he had so early in his college career to the end of his career?
Probably.
That he thinks he's so great that he doesn't need that.
Yep. Yeah, I do actually. I think it's 100% true. He's had no down points, and everybody
he had no adversity in his college career at all. He was God on campus since the day he stepped foot on the football field.
Listen, you could blame it on Urban Meyer. Do that. Okay, that guy was a jerk.
Can we? I don't like him.
he kicked a kicker in warmups. Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of football, I don't really think the guy's fantastical either. But let's be honest, that was on a football field, and that guy's got a family. Okay, blame it on Urban Meyer. Doug Peterson worked his tail off, and until the last year, which was last year, and he went, what was it, 7 games in, and you're like, Doug's like, please fire me. Get me out of here. I have no say.
I'll collect a paycheck sitting on my couch.
You spent all the capital on the kid, and I've been out for 3 games. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here screaming anymore. And now in walks Liam Cohen, who, by the way, looks like a younger Doug Peterson. And he's doing all the screaming and yelling and fighting. And that's what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. I'm out on Trevor Lawrence. In fact, I don't think he's very coachable. I think that Liam Cohen and him are going to find a crossroads. And Liam Cohen's success in the NFL supersedes Trevor Lawrence. He's had success with Baker. He's set up Matt Stafford. I mean, I get that he was with McVay, but there's been a lot of success for Liam Cohen. And I think ownership will choose Cohen over Trevor Lawrence.
Isn't this oddly similar? And I know it's his first year, but our second year to the Bears situation. Ben Johnson is not married to his quarterback. He did not draft him. He inherited him. Ben Johnson has had enough success in the league to warrant the ownership saying, listen, I want my guy.
I think, yes. First of all, yeah, I agree with that. That's a great take. Okay.
Just the exact way you describe the Jacksonville situation is exactly the way I view the Bears situation. Like, as soon as you started talking about it, I'm like, is he talking about the Bears too?
What's interesting, though, is that Ben Johnson paid his guy. He paid Tyson Bagnet. Tyson Bagnet's his guy.
No, we know that. We talked about this.
You don't give a backup a 2-year deal for $10 million. You give him a 2-year for like 3.5, 4, so he gets hit in practice every once in a while. He think Tyson's his guy. He walked upstairs and went, look, we can keep playing your games. Let me know when we're done. Right? Like Ben Johnson, I kind of think, and I think Tyson Bagnet has the same athletic ability that Caleb Williams. Maybe the arm doesn't go 80 yards. I don't really care. You know that. But I do believe that Liam Cohen is there. But let's get rid of all this. I love the Texans. They're 0-2. Their losses were great. And I think they walk into Jacksonville. And when the going gets tough, this ain't gonna fly.
I agree. I like the Texans too.
And I'm betting this game.
What's that?
I'm betting this
I
game.
like Jacksonville. I'll take the 1.5 all day. I'll take points on this game. Jacksonville, I agree. There's dissension in that. Trevor Lawrence needs to really think about the rest of his career, because if he loses with Cohen, he's going to have a bad stigma on him. He's going to have a bad rap on him, already worse than what he already does. Cohen is one of those guys that was really sought after in the NFL by multiple teams. He was the next up and coming coordinator. Him, Ben Johnson, he was in that discussion. So they're not going to move on from him. They're not going to move on from him like they did Urban Meyer, like they did Peterson. They're going to keep this young guy. I think they really like what the energy he brings to that organization. And Trevor Lawrence is just like this. I just want to make sure I get this right. Just this slouch. Just bad body language on the field. Again, guys, I'm not talking about Caleb Williams either.
Brother, I am taking Houston on the money line. No point.
I like Houston here too.
Like they need to win. And they're too good to be 0-2 in a bad team. They're not a bad team. They're going to walk into Jacksonville. And by the way, Houston always treats Trevor Lawrence like their daddy. Guys, there are games we talked about here today that we like or we don't like. I am betting this game. I don't care what my consequences are. This is my bet your house.
Okay.
You got a house? Bet it. Hammer down on Houston. I'm full disclosure. Houston is better than Jacksonville, and Houston has had tougher times already.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's kind of funny how you talk about bringing in the backup for $10 million for 2 years. The Niners did the same thing with our boy Mac Jones. Brought him in 2 years, $7 million. You know, we'll get to that game in a minute, guys. Next. Next, we got what happened here? This got all messed up here. All right, we already went through the Packers game. All right, next we got the Jets at the Buccaneers. Jets field still hurt.
Yeah, and that's good for the Jets because you can't sell a Tyrod Taylor. You can't sell Tyrod Taylor at all, right? I want to make sure I get his name right. Right, Baker made sure that everybody gets his name right this week. It's not Tyrod, it's Tyrod.
Right.
Tyrod Taylor. So Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback than Justin Fields on every planet except for planet New York Jets. That's the only planet he's not better. He can throw better. He can run better. Tyrod can still play. He's a real athlete. Virginia Tech, go check out his.
He's always been a solid backup. He wins when as a backup. He just doesn't win as a starter.
So, right. But he did go to the playoffs with the Buffalo Bills and LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, but he wasn't the starter for the whole year.
No, Rex Ryan traded for him. Rex Ryan, the 9-7. It was fine. It was, and then they were 7-9. No. But he was a starter. He was a solid starter. Anyway, the Bucs have a lot of offensive line issues, and although I do believe, and I'm wearing a Bucs shirt, my one of my greatest friends got me this shirt, so I'm rocking it on the show today. Shout out to you, Donnie O'Connor. But so the Jets are getting 6.5, and they're in Tampa Bay. And I do like Tampa Bay. And I believe that crowd will be enough to give Tampa Bay the same kind of energy that will be in Philadelphia today. But we only like Philadelphia to win by 3. And since I said Tyrod Taylor can run a real offense, and he's got Breece Hall, and he's got real weapons, I'm taking the Jets getting 6.5.
Okay.
I do believe that defense could muddy the game enough to make Tampa have to struggle again, right? Like Tampa's not blowing anybody out. As long as we're telling the truth here, and we are, Tampa's not blowing anybody out. 6.5. Tyrod Taylor could still play. Don't disrespect the man. I'm not a Jets believer, but today I'll take them.
I am not going to take the Jets, but I'm not taking the spread at all. I could easily see this being a 3-point game, or I could see this being a 7-point game by Tampa. I don't think there's any way Tampa Bay loses this game. I think they're too much talented. As long as you have Baker in that quarterback position, I find it hard to pick against him. He wills that team to win. He is the most competitive quarterback I have ever seen in my life. I love him. I love him since the day he planted the flag in the Ohio State, right in the middle of their field. I loved him ever since then. Have I had mixed opinions about his talent? Absolutely. But as far as the competitive person Baker is, there is not a better person in the NFL than him. Plain and simple. Listen, you bury a flag in college on somebody's field at their house, that takes balls. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can never pick against him unless they're playing my Niners, and even then they end up losing. But anyways, I'm taking. Listen. I know it's a big one. It's where we got it's at negative 345. But if anything, I would take the money line.
Yeah,
I'm not taking the spread on this because, like I said, I know Tampa Bay is going to win, but they could win by 3 or they could win by 7.
Down 3 starting offensive linemen, though. That's a little.
I get it. It's just Baker. I seen him against the Niners with that, missing their left tackle, missing their right guard, 2 key essentials pieces. I remember this game, dude. Bosa had him dead and rights, had him wrapped up. He throws the ball for a first down to extend the play for them to win the game. No, I am not betting against him. I don't care if he's missing every offensive line on the field.
All right,
until he doesn't do it, I'm taking Baker. Give me Baker on the money line.
I got to run.
I didn't say give me the Bucks on the money line. I said give me Baker on the money line. All right, next. Let's see. We got the see, they messed this all up on me here. We got the Saints at the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, listen, the Saints have been tough all year. They've been strong, solid all year. I just think Seahawks are better. I think they're going to win. The line on that game is 7.5. That's a lot. Seattle's given 7.5. Over under 41.5. Money line is negative 375. This is what you do, guys. Take Seattle on the money line. Take Houston on the money line. And what was the other one we said? The Bucks on the money line. Right there is your 3-team parlay.
There you go, guys. While you're in traffic, just close your eyes. Hey, close your eyes with me while you're in traffic and bet on Seattle. Done.
Yeah, done. I'm not touching the spread 7.5. That's too much. Saints have proved they can hang around. They're just not good enough.
Yeah.
That's why I said take those 3 teams on the money line. I know they're higher on the money line, but at least you can make some money with a 3-team parlay. All right, next we got the Denver. Oh, this is going to be a good game. Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. Chargers are giving 2.5. Over under is 45.5. Chargers are at negative 155 money line. This is a tough game to pick. If the Broncos won last week, it'd be a little bit easier. But with them coming off that tough loss in their fresh in their mouth, find it hard to pick the
I think the
Chargers, but it is Harbaugh. So it's hard for me to pick against Harbaugh. Ultimately, I'm not touching this game, but if I had to, I'm sticking with my boy Harbaugh. Denver they have Peyton. They have a good team. They have a bad taste in their mouth from last week's loss. I think they might come out here and pull away with this game, but I'm not picking against my guy.
So I'll take the quarterback. I'll take the better quarterback in this contest. That's Bo Nix. Bo Nix is better in big games when it's dialed up. Herbert.
I don't know anymore.
Listen. Justin Herbert shrinks when it's dialed up. He played
in the past. We'll see.
Well, he opened up the season against a bad Kansas City team. We know that now. They're bad. They don't have enough talent to overcome.
I wouldn't say they're bad. I mean, they very well could have beat the Eagles if they had one more wide receiver.
3 more cheeseburgers can't get Andy Reid a better scheme for this team. It's just they're bad right now. We would say any other 0-2 team is bad. They're less talented than the Bears, but their record's the same. It's just they're bad. So they beat a bad Chiefs team, and then who they come back and beat? They beat the Raiders. I mean, we don't believe the Raiders are all the way there yet either. Let's see if Denver wins and the Chargers have their first loss. Right, it's in division, and even though Denver lost last week, this is a bigger game for Denver to win than against Indianapolis because it's Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
So I'll take Denver. I think they bounce back. I think that, yeah, Peyton's been seething all week, and that's Harbaugh is Harbaugh, but Harbaugh's had a tough time running the ball. That's a problem, and it could rear its ugly head today.
Yeah, I think the deciding factor on this game is going to be Herbert. He's playing on a different level this year than he has in the past. Quentin Johnson's finally catching the ball, making big plays like he was supposed to when he was drafted. So give me the Chargers until they prove me wrong. I'm taking Harbaugh. It's at home. That's another reason why I like them. Like I said, the only reason why I would pick Denver or even leaning that way is because of the loss last week. I feel a lot more confident in my pick if Denver would have won last week. Just Peyton has a way of bouncing back from losses. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like I said, I'll take the more proven quarterback.
Okay, we're different on that, and we're different on our opinions on Herbert. Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Chicago Bears. Cowboys are giving 1.5. Over-under is 49.5. Money line is negative 125 to the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys here. The Bears aren't not a good team right now. Caleb Williams really needs to figure stuff out. He's holding on to the ball way too long still. There was 5 plays last week where he held the ball on for 3 seconds or more. You can't do that in NFL.
Yeah, I agree with all those things. I do think that Chicago's in a spot where they need to win. I kind of feel this is one of those games, by the way, weather is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of those first games where weather is coming. Dallas, people, see what the Cowboys did last week? Yeah, they gave up a ton of points to a guy that's retired in 20 minutes.
Back-to-back weeks, they've given up a ton of points. That's why I love the over.
Yeah, you can love the over. That's fine. I'm with you there. You keep playing track meets. You keep having track meets, and you will get caught.
You know what this team is? This is last year's Bengals, where you have all the offensive talent in the world, but you have no defense.
And guess what?
That's what this team is. This team is an 8-8 team or an 8-9 team. That's what this Cowboys team is.
And guess what? This will be their first loss. I'll take Chicago.
All right, I'm taking the Cowboys until they prove me wrong. 1.5 is not a lot, but I'm not taking that, but I am taking the over in this game. 49.5. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game.
If Dallas was good, and they are not, but if Dallas was good, they'd be -3 against an 0-2 team. And it's not -3. It's -1.
Well, again, that's because neither team could play defense.
I get that, but I'm saying like one of these times your track meet's going to catch you, and I think it's this week in Chicago.
Yeah, and the same thing happened with the Bengals last year. That's why they missed the playoffs.
Right. And we were but the Bengals will find a way to what? Score 35 again and lose 38-35.
I'm just saying that I have more confidence in, let's just put it this way. I have more confidence in a Dallas Cowboys team than I do a Caleb Williams team.
Listen, be USC.
And notice I say Caleb Williams and not a Ben Johnson team, because if you put a different quarterback back there, I might have a different opinion on the outcome.
Yeah, but this is going to be USC against Oregon, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, next. Oregon. All right, next we got the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Another 1.5-point game. Niners are giving 1.5. Over under is 44.5. The money line is negative 125 to the Niners. I am taking the Niners. Mac Jones looked good last week. I think he's going to continue to look good. McCaffrey is back. No Jennings this week. Ricky Pearsall is looking like a stud. And let's I can't remember his name. It is stifling me. Our third string tight end, though, Tripket or something like that was his name. It started with a T. Anyways, he's looking like a stud. So I'm taking my Niners here. Really no surprise. Jack, give me your insight on this game. Listen, I know the Cards are looking good. I just think the Niners just have enough. And listen, that defense is back. Robert Saul has that defense playing.
I like Arizona here.
Okay.
I think they're a more complete team. I really do. They've been together healthier, longer. I don't want to sit here and take and knock the Niners, but and I'm not gonna. They've gotten lucky. They haven't gotten lucky, but they've
Oh,
gotten.
they played. We've had the lead. They
Yeah,
went down. They scored, and our defense would just stop them.
yeah.
That's what they did. That's why I said our defense is back. We're looking more like that team from 5 years ago when our defense was legit, when our defense was the leader on that team.
I kind of had the idea that that Arizona was the best team in that division to start the season.
Mhm.
I'll rest on that.
Yeah, I don't think they are.
I know.
I think Seattle's better than they are. I listen, it's Arizona ultimately in my book. They never could put it together. Never. They never do. They always have flashes where they look like they could be good, but they aren't. That it's the history of the Cardinals. I think it's the Niners. I think it's Seattle. Or sorry, I think it's the Rams, the Niners, then Seattle, then Arizona, last in that division. Listen, I didn't put my Niners number one in there. I think they're the second best team. I think the Rams are better than them at this point. Ultimately, I do think the Niners win this game. I think we finally got a kicker that's not going to miss a field goal when we really need him to kick the ball. I think we win this game by 3.
Okay.
Next, we got See, this keeps bouncing around on me. I hate this. We got the Chiefs at the Giants. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't see the Chiefs starting 0-3. I think that's almost impossible. I really do.
I agree with you.
So there's really not. Is there any reason to spend too much time on this game?
No, I think they find a way on the money line, but I also think that this could be here. I'm going to say this. I think his swan song was last week. Russell Wilson showed he could play in the league, or that he has flashes of being able to play in the league. I think you're going to see Jackson Dart by the second half this week. I think that Russell Wilson probably gets sacked 4 times early, and Dable rips the rest of his hair out of his head and goes to Dart, and at least they're watchable in the second half. I think Kansas City has enough to win. I don't want to touch the 5. I don't like 5 here, so I won't play it, but I will take Kansas City, and we can walk away from that game.
Okay. Next we got see, these teams keep moving around on me.
I think the last game is Detroit and Baltimore on Monday night.
Yeah, Detroit at Baltimore. Monday night game. Listen, Detroit looked really good last week. Really good last week. Goff looked like he did last year. That team was able to move the ball, but I mean, ultimately, they weren't playing Baltimore. Baltimore, to me, is still one of the best teams in the league. You have Lamar Jackson back there. You still have Henry back there. Flowers is playing lights out. I mean, that team just looks good. Ultimately, I mean, for me, I'm going to take Baltimore on the money line here. I'm not taking the 4.5 that's there because, listen, if the Lions played like they did last week, Baltimore still could win, and they would win by 2 or 3 points.
Nobody knows why. I mean, this should be a -3, right? Because both these teams are very good. But people don't know is Jared Goff's record outdoors is a losing record.
Yeah.
Where is Baltimore? Outdoors. I'll take Baltimore because, despite losing week 1, they were the better team on the field.
Yeah, they were winning that game, the whole game. They just lost the last 4 minutes of that game. They lost. Listen, they played a great team with the Bills team. Right. Who I said was it could be the second or third best team in the league.
So I believe it's Baltimore. I think that Baltimore, being at home, might get some extra laundry on the field. Will I say? I'll speculate now. I think Detroit, proved that Dan Campbell could still look really strong and fiery. But you know what? To me, he's still that guy who's doing commercials for Applebee's. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Baltimore here. Listen, Detroit looked great last week, but Baltimore has looked good back-to-back weeks, and it's Baltimore. We know what we're getting with Baltimore. We don't know what we're getting with Detroit yet. Detroit looked bad. They look like a team that we thought was on the decline to where they looked great last week. So, listen, let's just be in the middle with them right now.
That's right.
Be undecided, and we're going to go with the proven team with Baltimore.
That's right. Yep, that's the best way to look at it. Baltimore has more proof, and I like my proof in my pudding.
Absolutely.
That's my last statement of the day. I like my proof.
Okay. Listen, guys, it's 6 minutes after 1. Games have started. We need to hurry up. We need to get off. We need to get to our families, start watching games. Jack has Disneyland, Disney World, whichever one is down in Florida. He has that to get to. I got my boys to get to. It's Family Football Sunday, and I cannot wait.
Before I go, I have already bet Houston heavy.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
All right, guys. As always, be excellent to each other.